All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about WWE SmackDown. We hit the preview. What's going to happen tonight in Chicago, Illinois. We also talked about segment 2. We talked about my Thursday night wrestling recap, which, Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling, Thursday night wrestling. And, now we're going to move on into would Cody Rhodes, ever turn heel, and would it be right? Honestly, I'm going to go right off the bat and be like, it would be so totally weird. But before we move on, of course, hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me your questions. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button and follow the show, also the network. The audience is definitely someone, obviously, obviously we need you guys. So I went up on just rambling on like like an idiot up here, although I'm pretty sure just like, dude, Eric, that's what you do anyways, bro. So, yeah, remember to hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMC podcast.net. So jumping on into our third segment, let's talk about Cody Rhodes and the potential heel run. Obviously, he has gone heel before in the likes of his early WWE career. And also, you kind of you saw him on the independent circuit. He was a heel for most of the AEW. He was he was kind of the dashing Cody Rhodes who left WWE and kind of moved into New Japan Professional Wrestling, TNA, also Ring of Honor. So I'm not gonna go ahead and say throughout his whole tenure in wrestling, he's probably been 65 to 75% of a heel. So I doubt he would want to, kind of mess that up. He probably likes, some people are better as a heel, kind of like Bailey, kind of like, I feel kind of like Seth Rollins. Although Seth Rollins does play a pretty mean, does play a pretty mean heel. I also thought Drew McIntyre as a babyface, he was huge. He did actually really, really good. So right now you have Cody Rhodes as like a huge top babyface for the company. Rhodes said, in an interview about him turning heel, he said, and I quote, "I think I would be lying to myself if I said that I never really thought about it." Cody Rhodes obviously loves the connections with the fans, and he says the new generation of wrestling fans, I feel like they wouldn't really grab the concept of like Cody Rhodes kind of going heel. And what I mean by that is, obviously you're not going to have Cody Rhodes go through like a whole entire like character change where he's going to turn into Stardust again, or put the mask on to be dashing or whatever, or put the bag on his head or whatever. So also as a wrestling organization, you kind of need to be a little pragmatic and practical. So I feel like they would be absolutely hard. But Cody Rhodes, I feel like the way he dresses, he does come off like a little snobby. Maybe he can kind of use that to his advantage. And I know, general manager, SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis has, kind of been flirting, after his bicep injury. He's on the shelf. He's, obviously been doing, the SmackDown general manager gig, and he's been doing really, really good. But he kind of did the same in the end in the National Wrestling Alliance. He was kind of like the Cody Rhodes there, where he'd come with a suit, he'd be a little snobby, be like into your face kind of thing like that. And it'd be kind of interesting to see if that maybe these two can kind of link up together, and maybe they they can have like a manager or something like that. Imagine like Paul Heyman leaves the bloodline to manage Cody Rhodes, and then he goes heel. Like it would, obviously there's a lot of doors that could possibly fly open from this ideological aspect. But and it's kind of crazy. I think Cody Rhodes also went on to say, never say never. He also compares his, kind of like the potential, heel turn to like John Cena. John Cena back in the early 2010s, the 2000s. Like he was all, after he was the Doctor of Thugonomics, and he came back and he won championship after championship after championship. He was the face of the company for the longest time. I know for that time you kind of had Triple H still there. You also saw Randy Orton, Edge. Batista actually went heel a couple of times, and then you also saw Kurt Angle as well. And of course, occasionally, Brock Lesnar would come back. Obviously, Shawn Michaels was still wrestling. You saw the Undertaker here and there, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. John Cena was kind of like that guy. that I feel like everybody expected for him to kind of have a heel turn at one point of his career. Obviously, like I said before, what made him famous was the, Dr. Thugonomics. But I don't know, just the whole comparison between him and Cody, like it's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting, kind of point because it's true. I remember watching wrestling and I was like, dude, this guy is like heavily favored by the fans all the time. I felt like John Cena could have put over younger talent better as a heel. I don't know if that makes like sense as I said that, but I feel like I don't know. John Cena was always the good guy. He was always the good guy. He was always, the people's champion, so to speak, kind of like The Rock. The champ is here. Obviously, that was his whole getup. But and then anybody who challenged him, I feel like kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Kind of without, without labeling, without, purposely jumping into that heel role, you were automatically a heel. They're like, oh, someone's fighting John Cena. Oh, he must be the bad guy. We got to root for John Cena. And then after the other guy would lose, I don't think his career was never necessarily, kind of like the same in that sort of, in that kind of aspect and stuff like that. But, if he would have turned heel, I feel like John Cena would have been a pretty good heel. I feel like he would have been pretty awesome. But like once again, you have people who are really, really good at heels, and then you have some people who aren't, aren't as good. Obviously, when Roman Reigns finally went heel, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, finally, like I feel like WWE needed to turn this guy heel. He's been babyface for so long, and people never really liked it. And now you kind of have Cody Rhodes right now. He's the biggest babyface in probably wrestling history right now. Like it's crazy how how positive how much positive feedback he gets from the WWE universe, how much people absolutely love him, how much the locker room loves him, how much the media loves him. Wrestling loves him. Obviously, he's been around Ring of Honor, New Japan, TNA, and also AEW. So I feel like you shouldn't really touch his character. Like, obviously, I, WWE needs to kind of stay unpredictable. That ultimately kind of, that kind of wins you viewers. And then like right now, you kind of have the bloodline building up the new young bloodline. Um, Maybe if the bloodline, if Solo Sikoa never really got the Tungans into it, like Tama and Tungaloa, maybe there could have been quite a chance for Cody Rhodes to become a heel. But the heel right now, it's just you have the Judgment Day on Raw, you have Drew McIntyre, you have Braun Breaker now on Raw. And on SmackDown, all you really kind of have is the Bloodline. Although, you still, well, that's Monday Night Raw as well. Maybe SmackDown does need to change up something a little bit. Obviously, on SmackDown, you're not, I don't know if the Wyatt Six is going to make an appearance. I don't know if they chose which show they want to be on or if they said F it and we're going to be on any show that we want. Because there's a lot of speculation saying that it'd be kind of hard to kind of harbor, 5 or 6 individuals in that group to just 1 3-hour show, which is possible. I can see that. But, them coming back and forth from SmackDown, it would kind of defeat the purpose of the draft, which they kind of tried so hard to kind of reestablish. All right, guys, we're going to have a Raw. We're going to have a SmackDown. We're not going to cross it like we used to. We're not going to cross it. Only the WWE Women's World Tag Team title, Women's Tag Team title holders have that, luxury. But it would be interesting to kind of see what happens with Cody, especially maybe if Roman Reigns comes back, defeats the new young bloodline, and then after that he gets on, obviously challenges Cody again, maybe at WrestleMania perhaps, but then you still have The Rock, who also vowed to come back and get Cody to kind of attack Cody Rhodes. And whenever those two are kind of in the ring, a lot of you kind of saw when The Rock wanted to take Cody Rhodes' spot at WrestleMania, the fans didn't really like it. So, with that, kind of that promise and that guarantee that The Rock is going to come back to confront Cody Rhodes once again, that just shows that I don't think, turning heel is in his future, at least within the year 2024. And that's obviously my opinion. Definitely WrestleMania. I don't think before WrestleMania 41, you're going to see any kind of changes with Cody. But then again, as a babyface, it's gonna get a little tiresome watching him just get his ass kicked over and over again, win in the main event, gets trash talked over and over again. He does his trash talking, ends up winning in the main event. Like, they could get a little predictable. I definitely think something has to kind of change in this kind of aspect, because if they're teasing the bloodline, Solo Sikoa fighting Cody Rhodes so damn early as of SummerSlam or even Money in the Bank, I feel like you kind of chop your creative arm off there. Like you kind of forced it a little bit, too much. But let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about that. Let me know if you think you would like to see Cody Rhodes turn heel. Give me some ideas, maybe some potential storylines that would be pretty good for him. So yeah, guys, do not go anywhere. We're gonna jump on into our fourth segment. We're gonna talk about WWE Tag Team Division Revolution. And yeah, we're going to talk about like just all the tag teams, how the tag team division is kind of portrayed, how it's been portrayed through historical aspects. And yeah, do not go anywhere.